biz. This is the biz.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Empower Huddle on What's the Biz 559 YouTube channel. How y'all doing?
Hey, we miss y'all.
Good morning, good morning. I know it's been a while, but
It has.
we're back.
We're back.
Hey, Nina girl.
Hi, baby love. How are you?
Good.
Good.
I'm good.
Today you're good.
Today I'm good. Even though it's 1,000,001 outside, I feel good.
Lord Jesus, help me. Yeah, it's bad.
You know, I'm psyching myself out a little bit. I do feel good, but you
got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. As always, life just be lifing.
Right.
But it's all good stuff. So I can't complain. Blessed, grateful, feeling good, thankful. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Lots of changes, but good stuff. Challenges. Like you said, life is lifing, and sometimes life's gently, and sometimes life's
pulls you
a little harder than other
slaps
times.
you upside your head.
Yeah, but I'm grateful for this little rest that we both took. And
Definitely
glad to be back. But tell me, what have you been up to?
I've kind of had my hands in a lot of things, but which is typically what I like to do. But some life updates, transitions. I mean, it's been a lot of things going on with me. All good things. Lots of learning experiences. Career-wise, I got promoted on my job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been exciting. Lots of learning curves. Lots of meetings.
Those are always fun, huh? Meetings.
I know.
Let's have a meeting to have a meeting.
I know. Someone told me to. In fact, the person that stepped out of the position was like, just, be prepared. There are a lot of meetings. So I'm like, okay. But when he said that, I really didn't take it too serious because I'm like, it can't be any more than we're already having.
Yeah.
But sure enough, when you put that different hat on, it's like, yeah, let's have a meeting. And then, but it's, it's all good because this is something that I prayed for and something that I really did want and work for. So I'm thankful for it.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
I know you work hard for the company you work with. So,
and it's, the company I work for, I talk about it a lot, but it's a good company.
It is.
I love the people, the culture, the management. Yeah, it's a really good company. So,
and that's so helpful to stay inspired and to stay, when people value you. And I really see, knowing your history, that they really value you.
They really do invest back into, like, even their profits. They invest back into their employees with a big percentage of their profits, and they show us that too. So that's encouraging, and it's definitely inspiring, and it makes me want to do a better job and a good job for them.
Absolutely. Could you imagine the people that will stay at a mundane job just because for the paycheck, but don't have that?
Yeah, just seeing that I'm being invested into as an employee, and they actually value me. I do see that firsthand, even with my husband. I'm like, dude, you work so hard. You know, it would be different if it was something that you were passionate about. Yeah. Then I would say, the stress is worth it, or the worry is worth it. But when it's just like, you're stressed out and worried, and just things are not going the way they should at work, and you're not getting that support, is it really even worth it?
Yeah.
Who cares how much you get paid? Who cares?
Right.
None of that is worth it.
Right.
But,
right. And there's that saying too that says something about, like, if you do what you're passionate about, it won't be work.
It won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely won't. And really, I never thought I would be in a career like this because I had no idea what, serving subpoenas was really even about. But it's really not even about that. It's just about showing up for the people. Now, and the position that I'm in management now, it's like having a team that you're able to motivate and believe in people and breathe life into people and say, you know what, if this is where you want to be, if this is the career that you're choosing, then I'm going to help you achieve your goals.
Absolutely.
I'm going to help you get to where you want to be, the next step. And so I'm thankful that I had leaders that believed in me to do that with a team.
Yeah.
And
but just think about it. If they wouldn't have invested that in you and developed that in you, you wouldn't have been able to pour in like you're pouring into your team.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful.
So yeah, it's been great. The team embraced me, even though we were like all just coworkers, they embraced it. And so definitely thankful for that. Another life transition for me, or an update, is just our oldest graduated high school.
Oh, yay.
So,
that's right.
I know. That's definitely a big transition.
How does it make you feel? Old?
No, old and fabulous.
Old and fabulous.
Because she's the only one that's getting older here, not me.
I hope you wrote that in her memo.
I know. I told her that. I said, girl, you're the only one getting older here.
You're the only one aging.
Not me. But yeah, that's definitely been a transition because, you've known the kid for they're basically their whole life.
Right,
and, she's my bonus daughter. So I've known her since she was 3 years old.
She's so beautiful.
Yes. And it's like knowing that little girl, and then now having to like relearn and get to know her, if that makes sense.
In a different,
because she's an adult, she just turned 18.
Realm. Absolutely.
That's super strange because now we're having semi-adult conversations, and she feels more open to tell me certain things, and I'm just like, girl, I was not ready for that.
Right.
But, I have to embrace it. You have to accept it because this is just a part of their journey.
Yeah,
so
you got to keep your face like calm and smile, but inside you're going,
you're cringing.
Yeah.
I'm just like cringing, like, okay, all right then.
Wow.
But so that's definitely a transition. But another one that I'm embracing, it's life. It's a blessing to be able to still be in her life at this age.
Yeah.
It's tough raising a teenager. And so
I remember.
Yeah, it's just, I'm sure you raised 3 of them, and
I did,
3+.
And that's why I dye my hair today.
That's why you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
That's why I'm cuckoo for Cocoa
Blame
Puffs.
it on the kids. So yeah, that's, it's been good though. She's a good kid. Academically, she's always been a stellar student.
Smart, yeah.
Very smart. Always been very mature for her age. So she came over yesterday for her dad's birthday, and we just hung out, watched some crime TV and caught up, and she was telling me what's going on in her life and how's work. And so, it's good. It's
That's
so
good that you're able to even have those conversations with her. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. Being a bonus mom is, it's a whole thing in itself.
Challenge,
we might have to do a show on that too, but just being that extra, your parental advice, but then you can also kind of be a friend too, it's especially as they get older. So it does definitely make me feel like old in a way, older, because I'm like, dang, I used to be her with older women in my life. I used to be the one getting the advice and talking to different women in my life at that age, just starting off.
Yeah.
Not knowing what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, thinking I knew everything. That's another thing. I'm like, dang, was I like that? Because she's, she thinks she knows everything. At that age, it's so crazy because they're like, they're telling you things, and
they know better. They know everything. Yeah.
And I do some correcting, and I try to remember to do it with grace. But I'm like, you just, how about you think of it like this? She'll tell me some things where it's like, my friend thinks this, and I'm just like, no, I don't think that's right. And I'm like, okay, we'll try to think of it like this. So just trying to get, trying to be that open ear, but then also do some correcting with grace.
Absolutely.
So
you're a good bonus mama though.
No, thank you. It's definitely one of the most challenging jobs as a woman to have is to be a bonus.
And going back a little bit to what you were saying about those conversations, like, because as you know, my granddaughter's away at college. Well, she's home for the summer right now. But I noticed when you said that, it kind of enlightened me to like, because I notice our conversations are a little bit different. Now she's, I'm asking her about, personal things. How's it going? Because I know she lives a very nice social life down there, and I'll ask her those questions.
College, of course.
Yeah, so have you met anybody? And she's like, Grandma, I don't want to have those conversations with you. I'm like, come on, let's just talk. But she will, she'll open up a little bit and kind of share some details and maybe show me a picture or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, I see pictures of her and her friends, and I'm like, "Ooh, girl, what are you wearing?"
Yeah. Okay.
That's because there's different clothes at college then.
Right. You're away. You have no parental advice. Nothing.
Well, she's an adult. She's, she's adulting. She's getting ready to move into an apartment with roommates this
so
next
crazy.
year. And just to see, and then I had another granddaughter graduate from high school, and she's going on into criminology. And
wow.
You talk about feeling old.
I know.
Ooh,
these are grandkids.
These
too.
are grandkids.
Like, dang.
Yeah,
that's a blessing though that you're around to be able to see that.
Absolutely.
I think now our mentality should, every year of our birthday. I know it's kind of like, dang, I'm getting old, but it's like, but there are people that have never made it to this age,
that are not blessed to live as long as we have.
I think that there, just saying that to yourself can really change your perspective on getting older, growing older. We got grandma sitting over there and she's able to see great, grandkids, or I don't know if it's great, but greats, such a blessing.
She's got 2 greats.
Yes. So I don't know. I think just, it should empower us to just change our perspective, to embrace birthdays and embrace these life transitions that do happen.
Absolutely. And it really has been that season for me in like self-reflection, because I have this way of being sometimes when I'm not in my practices where I just complain. And in this season where, God, the universe has me in, there's so much going around that's heartbreaking, and there's so much going around that's beautiful and new, right?
Yes.
But when you see the heartbreaking things that are going on around you with family and people that you love and care about, loss and sickness and things like that, it does put things back into perspective for you. It's like, I'm complaining because X, Y, and Z, but I'm not sitting over there holding my baby's hand while he's passing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's just like so much to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And even with that, it's like how you talked about the blessings of aging, but even, I heard recently about a friend passing away in the Bay Area, and she was literally only 33 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I just thought, gosh, I was grateful for the opportunity that God was able to give me in knowing her, because she was such a beautiful soul, so there's so much perspective that we can put attached to life that we can be inspired about.
Absolutely. There's this concept called learner mindset and judger mindset. And it kind of goes along the lines of what you were just talking about with, the different perspectives that we can have just on life and embracing the changes and things like that. And this concept I did learn at work, of course.
Learner mindset and judger. Okay.
Yeah, learner mindset and
a judger. I kind of like where that sounds like and where we may be going on this.
Yes. It's definitely a transformative power that for adopting the learner mindset. Yes. Over the judger mindset. And it's really about just all of the challenges that we encounter in life and our decision and how we're going to respond to that,
Right.
And how we perceive and respond to these challenges can significantly impact our growth and our success.
Love it.
So, just to briefly talk about the learner versus the judger. We're going to define these mindsets. So the learner mindset is characterized by curiosity, openness, and a willingness to learn from both successes and failures. And that's huge right there. So just, if you're curious, having a curious mind, I think about raising kids and their curiosity is so, being around little ones, they're curious about everything.
Their imagination.
Yes, and feeding that imagination is even more fun because, I'll sit with my 7-year-old and she's just like, she'll come up with the most random thing, but it's just,
she's so sweet.
She just creates her imagination. And I love that about her because it's a safe space for her. And it's, it really just like breathes new life into me. Like, dang, I can be, I can be just as curious as she can, even
it's
with
almost like
anything.
you see life newly through her eyes.
Through
in a
her,
sense.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's beautiful.
And it really is. It's a really cool experience to have with a younger child. But just feeding that imaginative mindset with even within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the openness that you have and in embracing challenges in your life can definitely keep you in that learner mindset, because that's why we're here. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're not just here to exist. We're not just here to be stagnant. So being open and willing to accept those challenges, learn from it and keep going.
Yeah. And I think that's why people suffer in life, because they are here for a greater purpose, and because they don't live in that purpose. I think that's where challenges with mental health and physical things begin to happen, because they're not doing anything to bring about experiences in a sense to learn things,
or that, we get stuck in this woe is me because it's happening,
and we just miss our life.
Literally. It's happening to me instead of for me. It's happening, whatever situation. And I know, we can't categorize everyone's situation and put it in one bottle and say, it's all one size fits all type of deal. But as your challenges and situations do come to you, then that's when you can at least start. Am I going to take the learner path or the judger path? Yeah. So talking about the judger. So on the other hand, the judger mindset is rooted in criticism, defensiveness, and a tendency to blame others or external circumstances. We talk about that a lot on the show. It's like, generational curses, for example. It's, I'm going to be an alcoholic because my father was, or my mother was, and, or I'm going to be addicted to whatever it is because that's where I came from. I'm going to have this survival mindset and accept the bare minimum in my life because that's how I was raised and that's all I know. But no, you don't have to accept that. That doesn't have to be your story. We have all of the resources. We live in a really, really good time right now in society where we have all of the resources available to us on YouTube to be able to get to the other side of success. Yeah. And
that's why it's so important when you are challenged with addiction or things like that. There's always a brokenness behind any addiction. It's been my experience. I work for a nonprofit and we serve community. We serve people who face challenges with addiction. We serve the federal prisoners that come out, and we try to teach them new skills. Mental health. I mean, it's a plethora of things that we service people with, and addiction is one of the most challenging. But I don't recall ever hearing a story where the background of someone who's been addicted had a good life. Usually, it comes because they're broken, right? Because and then in studies in psychology, it shows there's 3 children in a home. One will thrive and say, I'm not going to drink, and they don't drink. But then you've got the other 2 that for some reason, they all have the same genetic makeup in a sense because they're related, but there's something in the mind that stops one from doing and 2 actually will engage, And I know there's a deeper realm to all that and stuff like that, but it goes kind of back to what you said. Sometimes we are a habit of our surroundings. Right. We engage because we think it's okay, because that's the way we were raised. And the next thing you know, that addiction has a hold of you by the throat.
Most definitely. Yeah. And it's ugly. Yeah. And it's ugly. Yeah. Or even just, on the outside looking in, that, child for instance, has a great life with their family, raised in a spiritually fed family, a loving family from what it looks like. But inside, maybe there's lacking or there's something missing. They weren't raised around addiction. Maybe they didn't see their parents drinking or they did not see their parents, addicted to anything or any type of substance. But maybe what they're looking for is love, or they're looking for affection, which they didn't get in their parents either. And so they turn to other substances. So there's all sorts of things that can hold you captive.
Absolutely.
But the point is that you don't have to accept that. You don't have to accept just because I was raised in it, or just because,
do the work
and look for the resources because they're out there.
Yeah. I asked a friend one time, what made you give up drugs? She said, because I knew it was killing me. It was killing me. And I didn't want to die like so-and-so. And I didn't want to die like so-and-so. So there was something jarring that woke her up.
Right.
But the sad part is that people will fight addiction for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Because and it's just my opinion, but it's almost like there's not a true urgent self-awareness that says, oh God, I need to get help.
For me.
Yeah. For me.
For me first.
I can't do it for the kids.
Right.
I can't do it for the spouse.
Right.
I got to do it for me.
For me first. And then they will be able to, the people around me will be able to, benefit from me getting better because of me,
Yeah.
So just prayers and positive vibes or whatever for all of those people that are struggling with addiction or struggling. There is help out there. Tap into those resources.
It'll be so worth it too.
It would be so yes, absolutely. The learner mindset though does foster resilience and adaptability. It encourages individuals to see setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth rather than failures. And setbacks don't feel good. That's just the reality of it. It's like, man, but just even thinking of it as this is just a setback and, a setback that's preparing me for a greater comeback,
and I wish everybody had that mindset to look at circumstances like that, because how much more powerful would your life be if you could? Because we get in that thing, that darkness of the failure.
It's the woe victim mentality. It's like, okay, well, you know what? If you're going to stay there, then that's just where you're going to be, and you're never going to get what you're working towards.
And then 5 years later down the road, they're still doing the same thing.
And it's, it's no one's going to come and save you.
That's it.
No one's going to come and save you, especially if if you're at an age to where you're responsible for your own life.
Yeah.
We are all here to, to get to do our part for ourselves, and no one's going to come and,
rescue
and force you, hold your hand.
Got to do it yourself.
We have to do the work. We have to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
But,
this is good.
The opportunities for learning and growth rather than failure. So by approaching life with curiosity and a willingness to explore new ideas, people can unlock their full potential and achieve greater success, like we were just saying.
Amen.
We got to get out of that victim mentality.
Right.
Life sucks, I hate when I hear people say life sucks. I'm like, no, your life sucks right now because of your choices, because of your mentality.
My pet peeve is when I hear people, life is hard. Okay, there's life is challenging, but if you keep putting out there, life is hard, guess what's going to show up? Your life's going to be hard.
Your life is going to be hard, and it's going to suck. Yeah. However you want to see it, but we have to be careful for our words. We have to be careful of the words that we use and what we speak over our life.
Yeah.
And that's a great place for you to start. Start speaking. It's one of
Affirming.
The easier things to do because you're in control of that. Start speaking and affirming, like you said, those things over your life that you want to see.
Yeah.
And soon enough, you're going to trick your mind to start believing it.
Start believing. And guess what's going to show up? Everything you desire.
Everything that you've been speaking. Yes. It may not come the next day, or it may come the next day. Because you may say, I want to have a positive mindset now. That tomorrow you may wake up and have that positive mindset, but you have to do the work.
Absolutely.
Talk about some strategies, Nina, for cultivating a learner mindset down there.
Well, practice self-awareness to recognize when you're operating from a judger mindset. I love this whole discussion right now. And consciously shift toward a learner mindset. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, like you said. Seek feedback from others and maintain a growth-oriented perspective. And that's the thing that's really important for me is the feedback you get from others.
Yes.
It's so important to have, if you don't have a life coach or you don't have a mentor, someone that can help, that you can go to and say, hey, I had this experience. This is how I felt about it. This is how I handle it. What's your thoughts? And to get that feedback, because that's where you learn to grow too.
Right.
Also.
Right. Yep, for sure. I love when I can see some change in people. I do speak about it too, even if I don't, or I do tell them about it. Like, hey girl, I see you. Like, you looking bright today, or you looking like you've been just growing and flourishing, and just that little that feedback from others, definitely.
It's a big one.
It's a big one.
It's definitely a big one. And then you also want to, like I said, maintain a growth orientated perspective. Keep a dang open mind, people.
Yes, the open mind.
Don't close it off. There's so much goodness in this world. There's so much knowledge, like Nika was saying about social media. There's so many books. There's so many podcasts. There's so many ways and out there that you can grow.
Yes.
And if you're unhappy in your life, it's because you're not growing. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So once you say, universe, God, I really want to grow. I feel like I need to grow in this area, maybe in communication. Maybe I need to grow in relationships, it will come to you.
And there's a lot of free things. These aren't things that are going to break your bank or cost
that's
your
bust
money.
Your pocketbook. Right. And it will
and you
show
can do
up
it from the comfort of your own couch.
Home. Absolutely.
So the resources are there.
Absolutely.
There are no excuses. It's yes. What's hard is you getting out of the mindset. What's hard is taking the first step. But you have to do it. You have to do the hard things in order to see the change.
Yes.
You have to have the hard conversations. You have to do the hard work in order to see the change.
And then it's a simple question to start. Is the life that I'm living serving me? No, it's not. Why is it not serving you? And write a list because of this, of this. What do I need for a greater life? And then write that list. Maybe it's education. Maybe it's training. Maybe it's just watching a YouTube channel that can shift your way of thinking to cause you to be a little bit more empowered to launch out.
Right. Changing your surroundings, changing what you're listening to, what you're watching.
Sometimes you have to end relationships that are negative and that suck life from you just so you can get into that positive realm. Yeah. So.
That's, example, I have a friend that has been 5 years clean of drinking. And, the first couple months, I'm like, that friend doesn't come around a lot. And then it's been now 5 years that I haven't really hung out with this friend, but I'm okay with that because I know that their choice. Now I know it's wow, you've been clean 5 years. I know they had a problem with alcoholism, and it's wow, you drastically changed your surroundings because when we hung out, it was we're going to have some drinks. We're going to do this. And it wasn't anything against me. It wasn't that person didn't like me anymore. No. It was they made a choice that they knew they wanted to focus on different things in life, and they needed that transition because and that shift to happen.
The life they were living where it was no longer
serving them, and they knew they had to make a change because if not, they would have either ended up in jail or dead.
Yes,
and so they had to make that tough change, even though alcohol had been a part of their life for so long. They had children, and of course, every now and then we're like, hey, we'll show up and say hello or hang out or whatever. Nothing crazy. No bad feelings. Sometimes we pick up right where we left off.
Yeah.
But I respected what they had going on and the changes that they want. It's been 5 years. That person's been clean and they're thriving.
Yep.
They're not surviving. Yep. They're thriving in life.
And that's beautiful. You respected their decision.
Absolutely.
But because I even hear some conversations about people who have shifted their life and the other people say, oh, he thinks he's good.
They take it personal.
Oh, he thinks he's good because he don't drink no more.
It has nothing to do with you.
He don't like to kick it because he's, sober.
You're absolutely right. They don't like to kick it. And it's okay.
Yeah. And
it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It is,
so immature.
And once I would hope that once you decide to make that change, that you can get the same support that person was needing at that time from their close village.
Absolutely.
I know this is a topic that can go on and on.
I know. We like to go on and on.
We do like to go on and on. But it was a really good topic today. And thanks for getting us back on track.
All your fun stuff.
And yes, I definitely will continue.
We're excited to be back. We want to definitely continue to inspire on Monday mornings and give you guys little nuggets to go about your day.
There you go. And I hope the discussion on learner mindset has inspired you to embrace growth and possibility in your own life. Remember, the journey towards personal development begins with adopting a mindset of curiosity and openness. Thanks for vibing with us today on Empower Huddle on What's the Biz 559.
See
Have a good week.